Check out what went down on the court a few nights ago. You saw LeBron barking at the bench over and over, demanding his teammates get him the rock. As the Lakers took care of business 129-118 against Chicago, if you only look at the box score and see LeBron's aggressive stat line, you would think this was just another night of the King leading his squad to a solid win. But if you actually tuned into the game, you would realize it was a game where the Lakers got the W. But it left LeBron in a pretty awkward spot. Let's talk about the first half. LeBron was basically in full takeover mode, driving to the cup and throwing down slams. That classic rhythm, that classic transition game. He dropped 20 in the first half, shooting 9 for 15 and even from the bench. He kept gesturing to his teammates to give him the ball. At that moment, you could clearly feel it. He wasn't playing like it was just another regular season game. He was putting on a show for the coaches. Because just a week ago, LeBron's incredible 21-year run as an all-star starter officially came to an end. Now he has to fight for a reserve spot, and those spots are decided by the coaches' votes, which will be announced this coming Sunday. So, what you saw was LeBron clearly trying to make his case. Aggressive and tough in the first half, making his presence felt. But then came the second half. Starting in the third quarter, the whole vibe shifted. LeBron suddenly lost all momentum. 4 minutes, then 6, then 8 minutes went by, and he didn't score a single point. Throughout the entire second half, LeBron shot 0 for 4, finishing with only 4 points. And here's the crazy part. Every time he was on the floor, the Lakers were hemorrhaging points. They had a lead near 20 at the half, but by the mid-third quarter, the Bulls cut it down to just 1 point. It wasn't a lineup issue. It wasn't some sudden defensive adjustment. It was just a very harsh reality. When LeBron was out there, the Lakers were getting outplayed. So who actually stepped up to save the game? It wasn't LeBron. It was Luka Doncic. Luka went off for 29 points in the second half alone, finishing with 46 points, 12 assists, and 7 boards. He basically put the team on his back, taking a game that was slipping away and dragging it back to a win. The Lakers ended up winning by 11, but LeBron's plus-minus was a -14, winning a game by double digits. While your superstar is at -14, is almost unheard of in the NBA. Check out this even more telling stat. LeBron played 32 minutes total, but in the 16 minutes he was on the bench, the Lakers outscored the Bulls by 25. To put it simply, in his 32 minutes on court, the Lakers were outscored by 14. In his 16 minutes off court, the Lakers won by 20. Woo. This goes way beyond just having an off night. You might say, it's just one game. The sample size is too small. Well, let's look at the whole season. Out of 19 Lakers players with enough minutes, LeBron's plus-minus ranks third from the bottom, has it -33 for the year, only better than 2 guys at the end of the bench. So who is actually leading the team? Marcus Smart is number 1. Austin Reaves is number 2. You heard that right? The same Austin Reaves that LeBron's agent Rich Paul hinted could be on the trade block on his podcast, is actually the player with the second highest on-court impact for the Lakers this season. After the game, Luka spoke about Reaves returning from injury, and he was very direct, saying, "We can't wait to have him back. He is our true second playmaker." That statement alone tells you everything you need to know. LeBron hasn't disappeared, but his role on this Lakers team is shifting. He can still provide those explosive bursts in short windows, but he can no longer control the flow for the full 48, and time is running out for his all-star case. The next 2 games are on the road against the Cavs, and then the Wizards. These are the only 2 windows he has left before the all-star reserves are announced. On one side, you have Cleveland, where it all began. On the other is the reality of his situation in LA. The only question left is this: will the coaches vote based on the legacy, or will they look at the actual impact on the floor? The Lakers got the win tonight, but LeBron didn't really win.